You are watching NetSoft IT Academy. 905-812-2923. info@netsoftacademy.com. www.netsoftacademy.com.
Now in this lab, we'll be talking exclusively about configuring and verifying permissions that we set up. Now, first things first, I'll navigate to my NITA ADDS01 right here. I'll click on Tools, Active Directory Users and Computers. And under the corporate OU, I'll right click on New and select Group. Now, these will be security groups. So the name of the group would be IT admins. We are not changing anything, we are just making sure that it is a security group, that's it. And I click on OK. And you can see that I have the IT admins right here. I'm going to add one more group. You can also add a group right from here. So you just open the container and you can just click on this and you can see this right here. Now, this type, it is going to be HR admins, human resources admins. And these are security groups. By default, they're all security groups. You don't have to worry. And you can also transfer or switch between them as well, as you need. The next group that I'm going to create is support desk. Yep. All right. So, 3 groups that we created: HR admins, IT admins, and support desk. Now, just creating a group is not enough. We also need to add permissions to it. So now, for the next one, we are going to add permissions to this group or add members to this group. So again, let's go to Microsoft Exchange security groups here. And under that, click on server management. Now let me quickly show you where we are. I click on members. Click on members. Now this will be loading up the members in the background. And you can see that I already have one user who's set as the member, but I'm going to add more. So I'll click on add and I'll look for IT admins. And you can see IT admins, the group is all here. So now what happens is any user that I add to the group IT admins or any user who becomes a member of the group IT admins will automatically get server management permissions. And this is one of the best ways to assign permissions. Remember that. This is one of the best ways to assign permissions. Now, this is one. Now, the other way of doing this or other way of assigning permissions is through the Exchange Management Shell. Now, for that, we will go to the Exchange Admin Center. That will be on the NITA EXEH01 machine. So this is my Exchange Admin Center. So Exchange Management Shell, not Admin Center. I know I said Admin Center, but it is actually the Management Shell. So on this one, I'm going to first run the command called new role group. Name is this one, and the roles I'm adding is the mail recipients. Now, once I do this, you can see that this command went successfully. It has now been added here. The next command that I'm going to run is for the support. So for example, I could just type on the same commands. So I just change the name here. And I just keep adding roles. So I can add multiple roles by applying a comma here. And then under this, so mail recipient, creation. Now, one thing, remember that the role actually has to exist. You cannot make up your own roles. Don't do that. Like, oh, this works, that's why you're going to do this. It doesn't work like that. Okay, so just make sure never to do that. Distribution groups, and I press enter. And you see that all of these roles have been assigned now. So this is the difference here. This is the difference for when you do it through Exchange Management Shell and you do it through the GUI. The GUI is easier. Remember, the GUI is easier. The exchange management shell is a little bit difficult because you need to know the commands, you need to know the roles, you need to have all of this. But thankfully, with ChatGPT, Copilot, and other things around, you can always double check if you are not feeling confident about your commands. Double check, not use it to write the command all on its own. Then it would be defeating the purpose. Now, once we do this, we go to the Exchange Admin Center on the browser. We go to the Exchange Admin Center. We click on permissions, and under admin roles, we will see HR admins here and support desk here. So if I open HR admins, let's say, if I open this, I can see the roles that they have. Now I need to add members to this. So for this one, I'm not adding for HR admin, I'm adding for support desk right now. I click on support desk, scroll down, and under members, add, and I start looking for Tom Holland, add, OK, and save. Now, similarly for HR admins, we are going to be adding another user here called Liam Neeson. Let's hope Liam is actually willing to take it and he is not going to start giving us the dialogue from Taken. Save. And you can see that we can add it like this as well. And that is how you configure. Remember, this is how you configure permissions and you assign them, or configure roles and assign them. Now we have to verify these permissions, right? So the first thing that we'll have to do is go to a new browser, incognito browser tab here, a window here. Now navigate to OWA here, or try navigating to the ECP, not the OWA, the ECP, because we did give them and the admin role, right? So T Holland, password 1350. Okay, time zone would be Eastern, like we discussed earlier. Save. And once this loads up, you will see that the user does have all the admin privileges necessary. Yes, but let us say I select the user, I click on edit. The user can edit all the mail recipients. But if you notice over here, there are a few things that are not in the user's control, not in Tom Holland's control here. And that is the major difference for this one. So for now, for this one, and I'll click on groups here. I'll click on new, and see, I only have distribution group or dynamic distribution group. I do not have anything else. So if I select distribution group, I give this the name research, and owners, I'll need to add the owner. So I'm going to add Brad Pitt as the owner here. And click on save. So I have my research group right here. Now this was one. Now there were other things that we could have done. We could have done this, but I'm now going to log in as Liam Neeson. I'm going to sign out as Tom Holland, and I'm going to sign in as Liam Neeson. Again, you can see that Liam Neeson, the moment Liam Neeson logs in, the permissions are a little bit different. There is no distribution group here. That is the biggest thing. So you just can see the mailbox tab, and under the mailbox tab, you can see all of these. So now if I click on Brad Pitt here, I can also edit the name. So let's say Brad Pitt. Now, certain times my habits of not having the right things do come into play. But if I click on organization, you can see Brad Pitt is in marketing. Now, under the department, you can also add, I can change it from marketing to customer service. and click on save. But that can be done. Now, Liam Neeson does not have the permission to manage groups. So that is why the groups tab is not even there. And that is the task done here. Now, the next thing that we are going to do is go back to our Exchange Management Shell. I'm going to close this window here. I'll go back to the Exchange Management Shell. And on the Exchange Management Shell, I want to run a few commands to enable auditing or to configure auditing. So the first command that I'm going to run is going to be this. New dash mailbox name info, SAM account name info shared, enter. So you can see that it's been created. The next thing, set mailbox identity info and all the options that you need. So audit delegate, send as, send on behalf, audit enabled, flag set to true. And lastly, get mailbox info, add permission to Jodie Foster, and extended rights would be send as. So what does this command mean? So what does this command mean? Let's see if I have a typo in my name here, because that is a more common theme with my thing. JODIEFOSTER. Okay. JODIEFOSTER. Okay, it's all correct. Now, this could be just me making a small typo when I was creating the user. So let me quickly double check my users again, and then we'll run the command. Okay, so the only thing I changed was I just copied the name directly from the users and computers and just put it here. So yes, you can see that this permission has been set up. Now we need to verify if Jodie Foster actually has access to this info mailbox. So I go back to my browser here, open a new incognito window, navigate to HTTPS, and this time instead of ECP, I'll navigate to OWA here, the mail. Nita / J Foster, password 1350. So we already logged in a few dozen 9 times as Jodie Foster. So that is not a problem here. So right here, I click on open another mailbox and I type in, let's say, oh wait, we don't want to verify if it is, if we are able to see the mailbox, we should be checking if we can send as the mailbox. So I click on new and under new, I click on show from and I remove this. So let me quickly show you how exactly to remove it. All right. So I just right click Jodie Foster here and I click on remove. And instead of that, I just put in info at nita.local. Now to the to user, we could just put in Jodie Foster herself. And let's say testing send as logging. This is a short email. This is a short email. I click on send. Now you can see that the email, this is all happening under the Jodie Foster this thing right here. And yes, let me quickly, I had 2 tabs open. So you can see that testing it, this is already here. The email is here. And this was sent from by info to Jodie Foster. Now that is the extended right that we were discussing about. And that is how you configure it. So that is also the end of the lab here. I hope you understand what we did. So first we configured first we configured multiple roles, we added new roles, then we added permissions to those roles, and then we added users to those roles and verified if those permissions are actually applicable and they're working. Once that was done, then we moved on to set up auditing. And then we also added a new shared mailbox, made one of the users a member with a certain delegated permission, and then we verified if we were able to use that permission. And that was the lab for us. So I hope you understood something from this lab, and I hope you're interested in the next upcoming labs because they're going to get very interesting very quickly. So please stay tuned. I'll see you in the next lab.
Thank you for watching NetSoft IT Academy. 905-812-2923. info@netsoftakademy.com. www.netsoftakademy.com.